Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is Wednesday, May 3rd. I haven't read the stories on this today, but I saw there was a drone attack on the Kremlin, or at least in Moscow, with the implication, according to Russia, that it was an assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin. Now, Ukraine is denying this. Russia's saying they're saying it's a terrorist attack, and the Ukrainians a bunch of no good terrorists, and the Ukrainians are denying that they tried to assassinate Putin. There's other rumors going around that a political rival maybe of Putin did this, or an opposition group did this. I haven't read any of the stories. It's like thumbnails and little sentences that I caught here or there. I also am seeing on YouTube that various other readers are getting their stories up on this one. So, when Marianne's got it and Denise Siegel, they both have it up there. It's like, this might be one of those significant events, and I'm going to just, look and see what my guides and angels show me with this situation. So, that being said, Spirit, can you help me and my and the viewers here watching this better understand what happened or the situation that's going on right now with regards to this drone attack? What happened? What information can you share? Insights are good. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, there's betrayal. Okay, that all automatically tells me it's not Ukraine. Ukraine's not going to betray Vlad. That's going to be Vlad's inner circle or opposition groups. This was like a coup attempt. This was Vladimir's Swan Lake moment. They didn't get him, but I think that's what that was. And yeah, it's the backroom dealings. Okay, so again, betrayal. This is a betrayal. This is trying to assassinate the head of the state, and these are folks in the background plotting and scheming. And notice the Three of Coins, it's money. So this is probably oligarchs. Oligarchs tired of watching them and their friends get pushed out of windows. Not pushed out of windows. Accidentally falling out of windows and dying after murdering their entire family. Because that's a thing. All right, so yeah, it's an assassination attempt. I absolutely agree. Just Ukraine's not the culprit. Okay, so background, the Hierophant. I don't think what's going on with Russia and the invasion of Ukraine, it's impacting business and the money that these oligarchs make during peacetime. They own all the major manufacturing sectors in Russia, and they're extremely wealthy because of it. And this war, it's isolated Russia, there's sanctions. It's they can't go on their super yachts because everything's getting confiscated, and they are really tired of they believe Putin. Putin said, no, this is going to be over in a week, 3 days. We're going to make a bunch of money off this, and it's now been 400 and something days, and they're stuck in there. And I think basically they're done. They're done with him, obviously, because they're trying to get rid of him. Current situation. Four of Cups, the offer you don't want. I think Putin might be trying to offer things, and they're tired of it. They don't want to hear it anymore. They're done with him. There's really no mollifying or pacifying this group of people, or whoever tried to kill him. They're done. They're done. Here, drink a cup of poison. Maybe that's the way to go. They can't get it on the waistband of his pants like they did. Not Zelensky. I'm drawing a blank on his name now. The Russian presidential candidate who's currently locked in prison. I give myself permission to remember his name, which means it'll come to me later. But they're done. We don't want him anymore. And so they're plotting and scheming. They're plotting their next move to move on from him. And this is going to be a combination of how do we get rid of him and who are we putting in his place. That's what you've got going on there. That's the current situation. It's basically that's also saying that Putin's on his way out. There's just nowhere for him to run and hide. He can only, he can only hide in his bunker for so long. They will get to him eventually. Lesson to be learned. Strength card. Putin is not projecting strength anymore. They don't fear him. This person is opening the mouth of the lion. They don't fear the lion anymore. They're going after the lion. With Putin being the lion and the women, the woman in this card, either being the oligarchs or the Russian people. But basically, the lion's been defanged, and they're going in for the kill. Outcome. Hostage. I think this is a couple of things. One, the oligarchs are feeling like they're stuck and they need to do something. But I think what it also means is that Putin is really, really restricted in what he can do. He can't go out. He can't go to certain places because there might be a drone attack waiting for him the moment he steps outside. So I think what's going to happen now is that Putin's going to be more and more isolated because of this event. And the more he's isolated, the less wise decisions he can make, the less he can talk himself out of his situation. He's stuck. He's a dead man walking. And underneath it, the magician card. So it's manifesting. It's trying to manifest something. Now, when Russia's trying to say that it was Ukraine that did that, that's an illusion. No, what's really happening here is that the oligarchs or the opposition group, whoever's responsible for this, they're trying to create their own destiny. And they're finally taking action, and they're going to do what they need to do to get him. Now, with this card, I want to throw just some clarifiers real quick. What is the Eight of Swords telling us? And there we go. High Priestess. First card underneath it. Divine Feminine Wisdom. It's secrets. Oh, okay. It's about secrets, and you have to ask the right questions. So, picture, if you will, Putin's head of security. He doesn't know who to trust. Basically, what this is saying is Putin doesn't know who to trust, and the oligarchs know who to ask. Now, ask the question, you'll get the answer. So, I think in this case, the oligarchs know they've got Putin on the ropes, and he can't go anywhere. And they probably know who to ask to find out where he's going next. So he really, really can't do anything. He's stuck. Maybe you should just throw some cards real quick here on Putin's longevity. Okay. So I've mixed them all in there, and they're not reversed this time. Silly reversals. Okay. Apparently when Russian leaders get assassinated, they start playing Swan Lake on the radio as they decide who's going to be the new head of the country. It's kind of a running thing over there. Will Vladimir Putin be killed before the end of summer? Although I know a lot of readers are seeing that a big counteroffensive coming for Ukraine, and this counteroffensive basically pushes Russia back to the point where Russia sues for peace, and then peace talks start between the Ukrainians and the Russians. And the readers have also said that the peace talks don't start until Putin's out of the picture. So, I think I could ask if Putin will be dead by the end of June, but let's just say summer. We'll give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room here. Will Putin be unalive, dead, no longer with us, joining the choir invisible by the end of summer 2023? Okay, we have the Empress. All right, so right away we get the Russia. And that's bountiful stuff. That's new, taking care of everybody. So that to me, that's a yes card right off the top. Putin's not going to be around. Let's see. Let's get a 4-carder. What do we got going on? King of Cups. Yeah, somebody new's installed. Young person. Ace of Cups. And Knight of Wands. Okay, so yeah, by the end of summer, there's a new person in charge. A more mature person. May not be super cray like Vladimir is, but and I know I've read other readers saying this person doesn't want the job, and this would kind of back that up. It's like they don't want this, but they're being forced to do it. Why? Because it's going to be a young person with a message and a peace offering. They want a leader in there to do the peace offering to Ukraine. It can't be Putin. It's going to be somebody else that they do the peace offering to Putin. It's going to be a slow, steady process to do that. Once that peace has been done, then they will replace that guy with some other leader. Okay, does that make sense? Because they'll want to put the failure. They'll want to pin the failure of this war on somebody else, and then they'll want to get rid of that guy and move the next person in. Purely political. Yeah, and that'll be the end of that. Now, if we were to say the King of Cups was Putin, yeah, it's done. Mourning his loss, and it's the end. I think by the end of summer, they will have somebody in place, and that person in place will be a younger person going forward with a message of peace to Ukraine, and that person will be in charge during those peace talks. And then after those peace talks, they'll have elections or something along those lines, and then that person will be replaced with a new leader. And Spirit, how about a little 4-carder? What can you tell me about not the next leader after Putin, but the one after that? What can you tell me about that person? What can you tell me about not the next leader of Russia, the one that negotiates the peace element, but the one that's elected after that person? Oh, you want to be on top, do you? Okay, let's find out. Strong, truthful, powerful person. It's a real leader. Whoever it is going to be a real leader. Again, it could be a young person. This is going to be maybe somebody who's not a seasoned politician. This is going to be a new face. Kind of like Zelensky was a new face in Ukraine. It's going to be a youthful person. They're going to be somebody who has an agenda, and they're going to go forward. And you can almost say that, not recklessly, maybe a little recklessly, but they've got the sword of truth, and they're wielding the sword of truth. So there's going to be a lot of change. And it's going to be change for the better. And they're going to expose what's been going on. So it'll be almost like the dismantling of all the mechanisms that Putin has put in place. They're going to be exposed. So, in some ways, the new person's going to be a reformer. They're going to try and act changes quickly. It's a new start for them, and they're going to expose the corruption and the rot that's in the Russian community. And there you go. It's a government. It's underscoring again that it's going to make fundamental changes to the government. So, okay. So a message of hope. What's the summing up? I think Putin's gone before the end of summer. It's going to be sooner than that. It'll be summertime. Could be even sooner than that. The war in Ukraine will likely end, and negotiations will be with a different leader of Russia. Once those negotiations are done, when elections happen in, a young person who is very idealistic, wielding the sword of truth, is going to come in and try and clean Russia up and make it restore balance back to that country, and help empower the people and dismantle the machinations that Putin has put in place. So, knock on wood that we might live to see, a second version of Gorbachev in Glasnost or something along those lines. Wouldn't that be nice? And then we might need it over here. Okay, so I hope this reading was enlightening to you and answered some questions, or at least gave you some insight or different ways to look on things. And I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you on the next reading. Take care.